This news update is brought to you by...
Got kids? Then you need video on demand from Flow, with hours of entertaining shows and movies for boys and girls of all ages. There's always something to watch. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we Flow.
It's Wednesday, January the 27th, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. In our top story, one of this country's main ports of entry is likely to be hit by industrial action on Friday. But while President of the National Union of Public Workers, Akani MacDowell, only says a shutdown of the Grantley Adams International Airport is a protest option against the non-payment of workers dating back 5 years, sources intimately involved in the dispute told Barbados Today Friday is the agreed date for action. Akani said recent correspondence from the management of the airport did not satisfy the union's demands, so they will be meeting with all of the airport workers today at 2 p.m. to discuss the issue.
I have said that I will do whatever is needed to make sure that those workers get what they deserve, and if it means taking the airport management to the level where they are uncomfortable, then I would do that. If that includes protest action, shutting down the airport, whatever. But the workers are owed money and they must have it.
The union said there are about 400 airport employees on staff, and the union represents about half of them. General Manager of the state-owned National Conservation Commission, Keith Neblett, yesterday evening denied that he played the lead role in the controversial dismissal of 186 workers back in April 2014, saying he has simply carried out the instructions of his board of directors. However, after testifying Monday that the last in first out policy had been followed in the course of government's retrenchment exercise, the NCC head appeared to be on the back foot yesterday. It was during 2 hours of intense cross-examination by attorney for the National Union of Public Workers, Pat Cheltenham QC. In fact, the NCC boss was unable to provide any clear answers to why QT Lynch, a worker who had 10 years service with the statutory corporation, has been sent home ahead of some of her colleagues who were employed by the NCC for less than 5 years.
And yet she had met some of the same criteria that you said would be useful. And yet she is asked to leave, and these persons with maximum 16, 2 Januarys and a May, the May didn't even have a year. And they are kept. You can explain the reason for the difference?
You asked that question, I just answered it.
Okay. Maybe the Met one of you.
That's
and you think it's socioeconomic?
You asked a question.
And you think it was
socioeconomic? More than one is temporary. I think it's more than one you trying to say. I told that they would have, the person would have met one or two, or whatever the criteria is.
And all the others, and what about their efficiency on the job?
Well, that was never taken into consideration.
Oh, that was never taken into consideration?
No, hold on, Chair, sorry.
Mr. Neville.
We can go home now.
I told you don't answer the questions without thinking.
Yes.
On conclusion of Cheltenham's questioning, the chairman ruled that the taking of evidence was now complete, and Council's final address to the tribunal will be done on February the 2nd at 1 p.m. at the Warren's office complex. A proposed new law hands police sweeping powers to crack down on domestic violence in Barbados. Under the Domestic Violence Protection Order Amendment Bill 2016 debated in Parliament yesterday, lawmen must respond to every complaint alleging domestic violence and complete a report which will be recorded by the Commissioner of Police in the Domestic Violence Register. The new law also allows a junior police officer to issue an emergency protection order and enter premises without a warrant if there is reasonable ground to suspect an order has been breached. Police officers are also requested to render any assistance, which may include medical attention to the victim or render any help to ensure the welfare and safety of children or other people on the premises. Law enforcers may also seize any ammunition, firearms, or other weapons in the possession and control of perpetrators. Strong hints that Barbadians could be hit by yet another tax. Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe has proposed an environmental tax to support the controversial tipping fee, which has fallen short of the government's target. Lowe told Parliament last evening during a resolution seeking more than $6 million to supplement the operating costs of the Sanitation Service Authority that the state-run SSA did not recoup the $8 million expected from the tipping fee. Lowe argued that the fee's spread was too narrow and it was time for Barbadians to understand that they have to accept responsibility for the disposal of their garbage.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Turning now to news from the region, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says the legacy of the Caribbean banana industry is a disastrous one, and he is therefore pushing marijuana as a possible alternative cash crop. Speaking at the University of the West Indies here Monday night, he further argued that 50 years of commercial banana production had left some islands disaster-prone, adding that it was high time the region carries out some serious research on ganja as a viable regional commercial product.
Look at it objectively and see what happens to the environment as a consequence of bananas. People talk about ganja. Ganja is no way as environmentally destructive as banana. And I'll explain why. In St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica, for example, in the heyday of the market preferences in the United Kingdom, farmers cultivated bananas in substantial quantities above the 1,000-foot contour and in the adjacent undulating valleys. The upshot of all this has been deforestation and the erosion of the hills and valleys. Was ganja helps with that problem? But it has been going on for nearly 50 years with bananas. So that when the rains come and you have flooding, the land gets washed away into the river. Trees themselves get dug out and they block up the river, they mash up the bridges, they destroy homes, and they kill people.
In St. Lucia, a section of Rodney Bay's commercial sector was razed to the ground yesterday. 5 businesses were destroyed by the blaze. More in this report from HTS News.
The numbers are still being crunched in the wake of Tuesday's devastating fire that flattened some 5 businesses in the DeVito building along the Rodney Bay Strip in Grosley. The losses are already estimated to be in the tens of thousands.
About 4 o'clock this morning, we got a call saying that that one of the smoke was coming out of one of the business places. I came down and within a short time, fire started coming out of one of the restaurants, and it just spread to the rest of the building. Within 2 hours, the entire building was gutted.
And on the international scene, nearly 1,510 flights remain delayed or cancelled in the aftermath of a massive weekend blizzard that slammed into the eastern U.S., wreaking havoc on travel in the nation's busiest cities. But that was a big improvement from the 3,100 flights that failed to take off Friday and 4,511 being grounded on the weekend during the height of the storm. Now, yesterday, airports in the New York City and Washington, D.C. metro areas were the hardest hit. Newark Liberty International Airport lists 247 canceled flights and 8 delays as of yesterday morning, the most of any U.S. airport. And on that note, we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.